I used to think I was a good cat owner. I'd wake up at 3 a.m. with 12 pounds of cat stepping on my chest, and I'd smile in the dark. I'd whisper, "I know, baby, I know," and stumble to the kitchen and pour the food, and crawl back to bed feeling chosen. For 7 years, I believed that little ritual was love. Then, one night, I read a single line in a behavior journal, and I sat up in bed, and I felt a cold, quiet recognition crawl up my spine. I hadn't been training my cat. My cat had been training me, and every kind sleepy, half-conscious thing I'd done at 3 a.m. for 7 years had only locked the door tighter behind me. If your cat walks on you at night, you are not the owner in this story. You are the experiment, and by the end of the next 8 minutes, you'll see exactly how the trap was built, and the moment you'll realize you didn't train your cat, they trained you. Let's start. The first thing every owner believes is the kindest thing. They believe their cat is checking to make sure they're still breathing. You've probably read it 100 times in the comments. Under videos like this one, the survival check, the love patrol, the small furred sentry, who walks the length of your body in the middle of the night to make sure. Your chest still rises and falls, and it isn't a lie. It is partly true. Cats hear in a range from roughly 55 Hz to 79 kHz a hearing window, almost twice as wide as ours mapped in the Hefner and Hefner studies of 1985. Your cat absolutely registers your breath. They register the slowing the pause between inhales, the moment the rhythm changes when you finally fall into deep sleep. And when the rhythm goes too quiet for too long, something in their nervous system flickers, and they get up and they come to find out. That part is real. That part is tender. So, when your cat walks on you at night, yes, there is a small, soft creature in the dark listening for your heartbeat, but the breath check has a second layer most owners miss. Because the survival check isn't usually about your survival, it's about breakfast. Listen, one viewer with 539 likes wrote in the comments under the original video that their cats check to see if they're still alive because the cats want to make sure breakfast will be served. Another comment with 263 likes said the cat was reminding them it had been hours since food appeared in the bowl. A third 99 likes ended with 4 flat words. BTW, my bowl is empty. Read those again. The most loved interpretations of nightly walking, voted up by thousands of cat owners, are not about love. They are about food. That isn't affection, that's a feeding alarm with whiskers. And it lines up with operant conditioning. Research dating back to John Bradshaw's work on domestic cat behavior. Cats are quiet, patient students of cause and effect. They watch what produces food. They repeat what produces food. Why does your cat walk across your body at 5 a.m.? Because the last 100 times walking on you produced food. What's your cat's name? And what's the strangest 3 a.m. wake-up they've ever pulled on you? Tell me below. And the demand has a sound built into it. In 2009, Dr. Karen McComb at the University of Sussex published a study in Current Biology. That should have made every cat owner sit very still. She analyzed the purrs of domestic cats and found something hidden inside them, a high-frequency cry embedded in the low rumble, peaking at roughly 380 Hz. That frequency is not random. It sits inside the same acoustic band as a human infant's distress cry. Your brain, the brain that evolved over millions of years to lunge toward a crying baby, cannot ignore it. McComb called it the Solicitation Purr, a purr with a baby hidden in it. When your cat walks on you at night and starts to purr against your collarbone, the rumble you feel is a lullaby. The thing layered inside it is a siren. It bypasses your sleeping mind and goes straight to the part of you that nursed children, that nursed siblings, that nursed grief. That isn't a purr, that's a key cut for your nervous system. And here's the part that matters. You cannot logic your way out of it at 3 a.m. Stay until the end of this video, and I'll show you the 90-second rule that breaks the loop. And once that frequency lands, biology takes over from there. So you reach for them, you pull them in, they settle, stepping on your chest, and they radiate heat, and you call it love. But cats sit in a thermoneutral zone of roughly 30 to 36 degrees Celsius, a much warmer comfort band than ours. and their resting body temperature runs a full degree above yours, around 38 to 39. Your bed with you in it is the warmest, softest, most stable heat source in the apartment. Your sleeping body is a quiet furnace. They didn't choose your chest because of your soul. They chose it because of your thermodynamics. That isn't affection, that's thermoregulation, wearing the costume of love. And here's the harder part. Every time you let them in, every time you lifted the blanket, every time you murmured and shifted your shoulder, so they could fit, you taught them where the warmest spot in the world is. And you taught them you were willing to be it. You weren't being loved. You were being requisitioned. When the house goes quiet and your cat walks across your body, they are not arriving at a beloved. They are arriving at a heater they trained. But warmth alone doesn't explain the 5 a.m. campaign, because the 5 a.m. campaign is the thing that gives the trap away. A 2013 University of Zurich feeding study found cats develop an anticipatory window of roughly 15 minutes around any reliable feeding time. John Bradshaw, in Cat Sense, devotes an entire chapter to operant conditioning in the domestic cat. The math is brutal. Every single time you got up at 5 a.m., every time. You fed them every time you sighed and pet them every time you even spoke their name. You reinforced the schedule, not once, 1,000 times, for years. Why does your cat walk on you in the middle of the night? Because you paid them to. You paid them in food and warmth and attention in the most powerful reinforcement schedule, known to behavioral science intermittent. Sometimes you got up, sometimes you didn't. That's the schedule that builds gambling addictions. That's the schedule you wrote into your cat. Has this happened tonight? What's your cat's name? Drop it below. That's not training failure. That's training success. Theirs, not yours, which means the trap isn't your cat. It's the rule you wrote without realizing it. So here's the 90-second rule. Tomorrow night, when your cat walks on you and starts the purr, and the small, insistent paw against your jaw, close your eyes, breathe slow and silently. Count to 90. Don't speak, don't pet, don't move, just 90 seconds. Here's what they don't tell you. The behavior will get worse first, louder, harder, more dramatic. That is called an extinction burst, and it is the surest sign you are winning. Most owners surrender at second 12 because the pawing intensifies and they panic. Push through. 90 seconds is the empirical threshold, where the operant loop begins to weaken. Do it for 7 nights. The trapdoor, it turns out, has been open the whole time. You didn't train your cat. They trained you gently every night for years, the breath check that wasn't quite love. The purr with a baby hidden inside it. The chest you turned into a furnace. The 5 a.m. alarm clock you signed for in your sleep. The trapdoor open the whole time, that you forgot you were standing on. So before you go, just leave your cat's name in the comments. Just the name. Let me see how many of us are in here together. If this is the kind of cat video you've been looking for, subscribe softly. I have more to share with you. Watch next why your cat stares at you while you sleep. It might change how you see them forever. The door was never locked. You just stopped trying it.